And we welcome you in. The final match of this busy Saturday from Houston, Texas. Nighttime has hit, and it's time for the Division I men's final between Brown, who won it all in 2022, against the team they beat back in 2022, 21-5, the Queens Royals. Ben Holden, Will Hooley alongside, and Will, this is going to be an awful lot of fun. These two clubs are undefeated in NCR play this season. They match up so well, although the sides are a little bit different in the way they approach and the way they play the sport. We'll dive into that as we move along in the broadcast. Let's start with Brown. They're 11-0 this season. You see the damage they've done offensively, nearly 600 points. They've only allowed 100, a difference of 472, and their road to get here. They beat St. Bonaventure by 1 last week. You and I had the pleasure to call that one. And let's look back at it, Will, and see how the Brown Bears did so against the Bonnies.
Yeah, it was a brilliant matchup, a semi-final worthy of being top quality playoff rugby. And it was, here and there, Brown and St. Bonaventure, they know each other well, and it really was a tussle. Getting that try, this was just before the end of the first half for Brown. That got them a little bit of ascendancy into the second half, but really, Bonnies brought themselves back into the game, and my word, with this game tight. In the end, Raphael Lassonniere, the number 15, slotted this last penalty of the game, sending Brown to the final. And my word, there's some scenes afterwards for Coach Dave LaFlame and his boys.
And it was a year ago that the exact thing happened to the Brown Bears against St. Bonaventure, and they returned the favor this year. Here's a Queens side. They've only been around for 8 seasons in the Division I level, but man, have they put together a group. Last week, they put up 33 points against a high-flying Wheeling team, and they shut them down. But, Will, they did it, maybe to the surprise of some, with their guys up front.
Oh, man, I loved it. And I love the way that Coach Frank McKenney has got his boys rolling this season. They've had a season to remember, and they were brilliant in this match against a big Wheeling outfit. In particular, up front, keep an eye on number 1 and number 2 in Reed and Camp. Those big boys did so well. Marshaled by that man wearing a 14 jersey, but their scrum half, Hilton Olivier. They really did take control of this game, showed a lot of power and a lot of know-how, rugby know-how. I think this is one of the reasons they got to their position. They're in this D1 final. A clash of styles, Ben, it might be between Queens and Brown. This is going to be really exciting.
Yes, it should be a very exciting match, and here they come, the two sides making their way out. The Brown Bears out of the Ivy League, they're on the left side there. And Queens out of Rugby East on the right side, making their way onto the pitch as we are inching closer to the start of this championship matchup. And this Queens side, they've got a lot of different weapons. Brown, really, they hang their hat, Will, with their maul, their scrum, their set piece is so good. That'll be interesting to see how Queens can defend it and counter it throughout this match.
You're right, Ben. It is a clash of styles. The control of Queens and the power of Brown. It's going to be fascinating as we have the national anthem lining up. These guys are going to be feeling it. The nerves, the anxiety. It's cup final time. It's D1 championship final time here in Houston.
Remove your ball caps for our national anthem.
You see the faces, the focus, the determination. Will, you played in massive matches in your career, none bigger than when you get to play in a championship match. Tell us a little bit about what you feel when you're in these moments and throughout your career.
I think it's always so natural to have that nerves and anxiety, Ben. I mean, it's what you live for as a player. You want to be put in these pressurizing situations. Pressure is a privilege, as they like to say. But it's about your game and how you want to put your game on the opposition. The last thing you can do is play the occasion. You've got to make sure you play a game of rugby. It's 80 minutes. You've earned the right to be here. Do the things that you do well. And both these done brilliant things this season. They play such good styles of rugby in their own right. They've got to back that. They've got to believe in that for this championship final.
A rematch from 2 years ago in that championship game. There were double-digit cards issued in that match. It was a very physical match. We talked to both sides. I had a chance to visit with both coaches. I know you talked to both coaches. You talked to the leaders on these two teams. You talked to Gabriel. You talked to Curry. And I love what Curry said. He said it simply comes down to who wants it more in this kind of situation. Our referee is Chris Micheletti. You and I saw him last weekend working the semifinal matches we had from the Penn State Berks and Reading, Pennsylvania. And there's Gabriel. Man, what a difference maker he was last week, Will, their number one.
He was superb. Spoke to him in the week. Really interesting character. He has a posher English accent than myself, and that is saying something. The man with Portuguese descent, yes, school and bred in England, but he is here in those brown colours. He's looking to bring it. He's such a talisman. Watch out for his ability over the ball. Watch out for his scrummaging ability. I know Queens will be keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, he was the turnover king indeed last week, and now Queens, they swing it out to the near side. And a good pickup, good hop off the ground. This is the dangerous Everett Boyd, and Boyd, heavy hit there just over halfway. Now Queens, here they come at a pace, and there is Gideon Wessels, number 13. They didn't have him last week, and Frank McKinney told us, he said he is a dangerous player. He's a threat anywhere on the pitch, as is this guy, the big loose head, Travion Reed. His brother's an assistant coach on this Queens side, and that's really how he got into rugby. He was playing football at Arkansas State.
Fantastic athlete, really powerful. He's also a powerful piece, so I'm intrigued to see how that matchup goes up. But for a really good start from Queens, sensible, good attacking play, punchy, moving the ball away from contact as well, not being too one-dimensional, and then just poking it through. I want to see game management early on, and that's a good start from Queens.
There's the head coach, Dave LaFlame of the Brown Bears. He's been around their program and running it a long time. And now here's a ball that comes into the hands of the Royals of Queens out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Brown Bears, Ivy League school out of Providence, Rhode Island. Penalty going the way here of Queens.
Yeah, just a little bit of a scrappy line out for Brown. It was a really strong facet of their game last week against St. Bonaventure. The set piece is so pivotal in terms of turning the tide on the team, making sure you're strong in that area. And Queens, look at them, 5 meters out, full line out. Expect a drive, Ben.
Here we go. Good throw into the hands of Van Nykirk. Looking for a little push here. Brown, so far, so good on the defensive side of the ball. But it's a penalty that goes the way of Brown here. Big penalty call early in the match.
The thing is, in championship finals as well, is I always keep an eye on the referee. Just remember, he is almost that other teammate you can potentially have in a game. Make sure you're on his right side. Don't have too many penalties going against you in early passages of the game. This is a good set piece setup, nothing wrong, but it's just maybe the timing on the way down. Good sack by the Brown defense off the line out, but it was that little bit of not the cohesion that they would have wanted, Queens. Maybe a little sign of those nerves, understandably early on.
Two clubs that have been here before, as we've talked you through here. Just 2 years ago, there are a lot of players on both sides. That ball went backwards, and it's all good. Now it's sent down by Brown. A lot of players on both sides that played in that match back in 2022, just a couple of years ago. Experienced sides, both of them. Trying to exit the 22 here is Queens.
Outside the 22.
One of the things that stood out to me, Will, from last week, Brown, when they're on this side of the ball, is how good their speed is, man. They are one connected unit. There's the take there by Antonio Estevez, their captain, part of the Portugal U18 teams in his career. He's one that's back from 2 years ago when Brown won the whole thing. Queens has won at the Division II level. They won the 2019 championship. Brown, their first and only thus far, was in 2022. Here's a carry from Gabriel. He can do it all, as Will told you earlier. You hear the call from Micheletti. Tackle and release. They let him go. Queens over the top. They come away with a ball. Now they lose it. Now Brown gets it back, but it's whistled by Micheletti for the knock-on.
The strength of Enrique Gabriel, the number one for Brown. Really, really good play from him just to get away from tacklers, beating the first couple, showing some leg drive. Always important, never give up in contact, Ben. He pumps his legs, gets his knees to the floor, therefore it has to be released. I actually thought there could have been a penalty awarded to Brown there because I thought Queens are very slow to release, but they get a penalty regardless, or sorry, a scrum, I should say regardless, inside this Queens half. Keep an eye out, number 13, Ejur for Brown. I want to see the ball in his hands. He's such a dangerous runner, been so good in D1 Championship this season.
Yeah, he's involved in USA Rugby, in the youth or the younger age group program, obviously a sophomore out of London. He's one of the best and brightest backs in college rugby. And last week, Will, they couldn't get him going. Wheeling, whatever they did, they really took him out of the match. Here's Brown now. Their scrum half is Charm Tuala out of Auckland, New Zealand. Rugby territory, if there ever was one. Gets to it, gets it free, plays it back. And talking to Dave LaFlame, he said, look, we've got a plan to get Ajua involved more this week. And in this game, they're going to have to, in all likelihood. Number 13, the center for Brown. Good dummy there, but to ground it goes in a hurry.
It's interesting, this
Micheletti,
line
our ref.
speed. This line speed, Ben, has been matched. Queens, they're trying to get up into the faces of Brown. Haven't really moved anywhere, Brown. So in terms of their tactics, just trying to batter down the door. But Queens, their defense is holding very firm.
So far, they are here in the 7th minute. Big heavy run there, couple meters picked up. In there, can't get to it. And there's the call from Micheletti, and it goes the way of Queens here. Not rolling away in time.
We have a chance to see, Rafael Lassonniere with those 3 points that put Brown in the final from last weekend in that semi-final. He's got a lovely educated boot, as I like to call it. Doesn't swing at it too hard, but obviously successful. And look, when points are on offer in a championship final, you've got to take them. This is definitely in his range. He's standing over the ball, so I'm assuming he's going for 3 points. So Brown didn't go very far in terms of their attacking options there. It was good defense by Queens, and that's why they'd be frustrated. That's just a silly, easy penalty, not rolling away in the tackle. And now opens the chance for Brown to get 3 points on the board and just settle maybe their feet into this final.
So when they met 2 years ago, this young man was the 10, had 2 penalty kicks in that 2022 final, and had the walk-off winner last week, 11-10. Eyes it up and sends it on its way. And he gets it. And Brown's got the early 3-0 lead here in the 8th.
Always important getting those first points of the game. No matter what it is, a score, 3 points, good solid contact, that will settle his nerves. And actually for everyone watching at home as well, just be aware of this Houston SaberCats Stadium. There's always a slight breeze. I'm looking at the flags and it's looked like it's in the favor of Brown slightly. So they might just have a slight wind advantage going from left to right. It's an exposed field. Keep an eye as the game goes. It might affect the kicking game for both teams.
Always critical. You read my mind. It's like we've worked together before. I was going to go there next to you, and I know you played there in Major League Rugby. Did you play, that the only time you played there was in MLR?
I was in MLR the only time I played there. It's a lovely big field for the likes of counter-attacking opportunities like this, but you also are open to the elements. Hopefully it stays dry tonight. It's a pretty good night for a championship final rugby.
Temp is right around 70, and here's Wessels. Told you he's dangerous. They get him back this week. What a boost that is in the back line. Gideon Wessels, the South African out of Pretoria. Now Queens looking to counter after the PK there in the 8th minute off the foot of Lasanier. Now Queens to ground they go. Little housekeeping. Want to let you know their 9 is Hilton Olivier, but he wears number 14. If you're familiar with rugby, 9 is always the scrum half, 14 is the right wing, but he likes the fit of the 14 jersey better. That's the reason he wears number 14, and wearing number 9 is Pierce Griffin, who is the 14 playing the right wing.
And he's such a key member of the team, Olivier. You could see how he's just trying to invite people onto him. He snipes around the ruck. He brings his forwards into the game. And actually, it's a simple little tip play. Really good tip play from that number 3 Camp. I was impressed by his work last week. Just moving the ball away from contact, getting Brown's defense, that line speed defense they like to bring on the back foot. Bit of pressure, don't roll away, similar to what Queens did with their penalty. Well, now Queens have a penalty chance of their own to level up this game. And it's that man, Hilton Olivier, the talisman, no doubt about it, to get 3 points on the board for himself.
Yeah, you mentioned Camp. He got him going. They had 3 consecutive tries from the 23rd to the 36th minute last week. Reed had the second, Chauver the third, and the strike from Olivier there. And that looked pretty darn good as soon as he touched it, Will.
A very good striker of the ball in his own right. And just having that 3 points for Queens now just gets them a little bit settled. It's just about feeling your way into this game a little bit. I say you can't play the occasion, but it's also obvious. It's a little bit different today. It's championship final time. It's maybe not just an ordinary game. So just having that little bit of a nerve settler for Olivier and for Queens will do them good.
Olivier pulls it free and pops it inside of the 22. The take from Brown. They don't like what they see, and they'll send it skyward, give chase, but it's handled easily by Queens, and back and forth we go. Battle for territory ensues. The chase, not enough, and there's Ajua, Tito Ajua, who Will talked about. Such a dangerous guy. The 213s, they could end up being the difference makers in this match. We'll see how it plays out. Here comes Queens now. That's Boyd, Everett Boyd. One of 9 players from the state of North Carolina on this club out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's turned over here going to Brown.
Both teams have good kicking games, Ben. Impressed by Queens last week when they took on Wheeling. As we see them go on the counter-attack, I just think, like, unless the counter-attack is really on, which it might have been there was a bit of space, stay in that kicking fight, because what I noticed with Brown is their kicker from the back, when he kicked it and he chased it, they then didn't put anyone back in the backfield. So Brown, got to be wary there. They can't leave too much space because the likes of an Olivier can see those opportunities, kick the ball in behind Brown, and they'll be on the back foot. Nonetheless, Brown get the ball back from that knock-on. Chance for them to show their power in the scrum. They're so good in this area.
Into the scrum we go. Great look at it. Tuala patiently there. You saw him wait, and then the penalty call from Micheletti.
Brown fans.
Great energy so far in the match, Will. Sorry there.
No, sorry, I jumped off. I was just saying, I could just feel the energy that would have brought the sideline of Brown, all their fans and people watching back home. One thing that when I spoke to Enrique Gabriel is he just said there's such a unit. It's not just the first team, it's the second team, the third team. There's about 60 guys who are all part of this journey. It's 15 that take the field. There's 23 who are part of it, but they are one big unit. They were one big unit there in that scrum.
Yeah, they were all watching last week. If you saw that video when he made that kick, when Lasanier made the kick, they all went nuts, and he talked about, Gabriel did too, he talked about playing for the alumni, playing for the program. So important to both these sides. Queens has possession. Charge down, they don't get it. Brown now on the back line here in the 14th, 3-3. Pair of PKs here so far in the match here in the 24 championship final here in NCR men's college rugby. That takes a favorable bounce for Brown, but it's picked up and handled back there. Tomas Musi, their fullback. Great effort here from Queens. Charging, getting everything they can. You blew a tire on the right side of your screen, too, on that run by Musi. Somebody lost a wheel in there.
It's never a good sight. I'll tell you what, it's nothing worse, especially as a back. You don't want to get your feet wet. Look, the good play from Queens. Really, again, it's just this kicking strategy early doors. I mentioned about the breeze. It doesn't seem to be actually holding up the ball too much. Lassonniere at the back for Brown on screen. You can see him there. He's got such a good kicking option. I know he's also a good counter-attacking option, but he ran into a bit of traffic. He's got to be careful. As I say, got to play those 50-50. If it's on to run, go for it. But if not, play the percentages. Get the ball downfield. Queens now get themselves inside the Brown 22.
They do, about 5 meters inside of it. There's the big boy, Travion Reed. South Carolina product now. They work it a little bit in towards the middle of the park. That's Chester Stanyon, their number 8. Laid back now. Rowan Shaver the carry. There's Olivier. Looked right, played it left. Now they're going to try a kick and look into the corner, but there it is. What a bounce. Are you kidding me? Boyd gets to it and puts it down. It looked like it was dead, and then Brown came in and gets it and puts it down.
No way. No way. The bounce of the rugby ball can be so cruel. I was thinking it was a lovely kick, but the winger Boyd wasn't up flat. It was almost a kick to nothing. But he still chased hard, and that ball just sat up. It almost came backwards. Colson puts the kick in. It's into a good space of the field. There's no one back there. I talked about in the back line, there's space in behind. Look at the way the ball just sits up. It jumps over Lassonniere. It's cruel. It's brilliant for Queens. Oh my word, Ben. You struggled to repeat that. That was sensational. Opportunistic work and play by Queens, and they get the first score.
Boyd, who scored in the second half last week in the semifinal, and you saw his speed, his explosiveness on that play. And here's Olivier, chip shot right in front, and it is good. And it's now a 10-3 match in favor of Queens, thanks to this play right here.
Watch this. Oh my word. That's cruel. That's harsh. But it just shows they are looking at that space in behind the defensive line, and they've got to make sure that there's some coverage there. I know they're close to the line. Bit of extra work rate. Brown, it's an area that, yeah, they were unlucky, but Queens might go back to that. Go back to getting in behind their line speed, and opportunities like that might open up. Good work to capitalize on it by Queens. And Boyd, well, he'll be smiling. He'll be smiling from ear to ear.
Oh, he was smiling as soon as he got that, made that hard right turn. You could see it, right? He knew it. He knew he got a bounce. Here we go now. What's the counter? What's the response here from the Bears of Brown? There he goes, Will. There's Tito Ajua. He's dangerous. Heavy tackle there as he took on the 10. Ajua with a massive pickup there. Gets Brown inside of the 22. They're about 15 meters from the line. Tuala plays the ball from the base. Great speed on both these lines. Now Brown, to ground it goes. Tuala. You heard Micheletti play the advantage. Now Tuala pops it, and there's the whistle, and we'll reset.
Offside, penalty to Brown.
That was
Pierce
beautifully executed. What an execution in terms of a counter-attack. It's simple, but it gets that ball into the danger man, Ejua. The way he just breaks down that blind side, or sorry, that open side, I could say, beats his first man, beats Boyd. Boyd's probably still smiling after his try. Ejua steps inside, keeps hold of the ball, and actually the space is then on the far end of the field. They needed to go again. They needed to pass that ball to the edge on that left-hand side. They were in the corner. Great work from Ejua, though. Great counter-attack from Brown, and look at them now. This is a chance for them.
All set up by Tito Ejua. 6'1" and 215. He is a mountain of muscle. So too is this Brown Mall. If they can get it set. Trying to get it back, trying to steal it away. His Queen's in there. They are unable to. Played back, Estevez, their captain. Man, what a tackle there by Queens. You can feel it, you can hear it. Oh, the marbles on the line, and Brown. Another heavy, hard run there. Tuala directing traffic, plays it back into the hands of Gabriel. The ground he goes, Tuala right in there. Here's Ejua. Good ball, but it's back and taken away by Queens. But it's called back. It was an offside call, says Micheletti, our ref.
Maybe that's why Ejua just threw the Sonny Bill Williams type offload. I'm sure people who have watched enough rugby will know what I mean about that. Trying to get his arms free in behind. Sonny Bill Williams, such a legend for the All Blacks, both in rugby union and rugby league. He used to love just getting his hands in behind the player and making that offload. I'm already seeing Ejua, confidence that he's got today in comparison to last week, just maybe from that one run. He get the ball in his hands, Brown. You've got to use your danger man, but they go for this scrum now. They think they can either push this in, and it wouldn't surprise me because the scrum that they had previously was powerful, Ben. Really powerful. They look to do the same here.
It is a very good one. Charm Tuala with the pill. And it goes, and Queens, it's Olympic, comes up with the take. He gets it. What a huge turnover for Queens.
No, it's not out. Use it.
The ground they go.
Turnover's good, guys. Turnover's good.
But now Brown trying to come up with their own. They get it back. They did.
Brown has it.
So 1 for 1 on the turnovers here, deep inside of Queens territory. Now Brown, about 6 meters out. Tuala into the middle. Getting his guys set is the 9 of Brown. Plays the ball into the hands there of David Scott, the lock, number 5. Try and hammer this thing in from 4 meters out is Brown. About 3 meters out. They keep working their way. Queens wants a call. They don't get it. Try it to the left. Not much there. Minimal pickup. Using the power again toward the line. Still short. Queens digging in. Brown trying to overpower him. No signal yet. You see Micheletti on the right there, a referee. Queens battling, scrapping, clawing. It's a street fight in there. Another effort here. That one. No call yet. Micheletti looking. Still not down. Queens can't get to it. Micheletti right there. He's showing it's held up. Man, what a stand by Queens.
Mental win. Mental victory for Queens there. You thought for all money Brown were going to push it in. And what lacked on that last pick and go, Ben, is he went on his own. The Brown player went on his own. I think it's David Scott. Gets, you could say, a little bit of white line fever, but who's with him? He has an extra player just to push him over and give that little bit of extra momentum, and he probably beats that Queens defender and gets over the line. But in the end, that's really well held up by Queens. That is a fantastic little mental victory for them.
Meant to win indeed, Will. Man, what a stand for Queens. Now Brown after the kick from Queens. They've got it right back. They go to work. Here's Brown with it now. Played out of there from the base. Tuala. Looking right, plays it right.
Out, three.
Tuala plays it back. Good job by Queens to get there. "24 minutes have expired. Queens on top on the try by Everett Boyd. Put them up 8-3. The conversion has them up by 7. Ajua outside, he played it. Now trying to cut back inside with that carry. And Queens does the job. They get the call going their way.
It was some really good handling from Ajura on that outside channel. If I was Coach Dave LaFlame, I'd be telling my Brownlow attackers that when they take the ball into contact, the guys that are clearing out the breakdown, they've got to clear a Queens player away. At the moment, Queens are just making the tackle and then they're able just to fan out so they can get across the pitch. And it's proving very hard for Brown to find some space. They find a little bit of space on the outside from some really good hands from Ajur, but in the end, they don't do a good enough clear-out job. I can't see who actually gets. Is it J.C. Curry for Queens who gets that turnover? I think it might have been the captain. Superb play, but they need to be more effective at the breakdown. We watched this. Good work to stay in field, and in the end, it's just that work just to get over the ball really nicely. It's that man, Wessels. We talked about how good it is to have him back in the Queens jersey. He's been a really strong player in this first half of Queens.
And in talking to Frank McKinney, as we did earlier in the week, he said, we're as healthy as we've been right now. You don't hear coaches say that this time of the year, and getting Wessels back allows Frank McKinney to say that because of his ability in all phases of the game. Stoppage here, and Micheletti will bring us back and reset here. Is this kind of the way you thought this thing would go to this point, Will, after seeing both these clubs last week? What's your take so far, 26 into the match?
Yeah, I think Queens have got a really good control game. They really use their kicking game well. We've mentioned Olivier at 9. He looked in the right areas. Brown have the power. They will scrum all day long. So this is, for them, an opportunity to get another penalty. And that's the way that they'll probably look to gain territory. But they've also got to be a bit smarter in attack. As I say, the breakdown's so key that at the moment, Queens are just in charge of that, I would say.
All right.
Reset, guys.
We're going to lock up again here.
We both of us on this side, we need to keep our height, okay?
Trevian Reed, we mentioned how good he is, the #1 for Queen, and he's so good in the loose. That's what I was so impressed about him, particularly last week. He was so good in the loose, but he has to bring it. He really has to bring it in this scrum department for Queens.
There's a prop on the U20 team.
They're trying to get an early shove on as well. Quick, you can just tell they know they're up against it.
As we spoke before the game, keep our binds, keep our head space, keep our height. Okay? We're losing all of our height now. Let's bring it back up. Let's bring the standards back up, okay? I'm not going to restart this again. Let's go.
And back to Reed, Will. He blew his shoulder out. He was supposed to go to the U20 Rugby World Cup, but he missed 10 months. So he's come back. He's recovered. There's the big unit there, #1. And, you know, there's some that think this guy could play flanker. He's that good of an athlete at his size.
That's scary. That's freakishly
It is scary.
I would not want that coming down my channel as a back row, but he needs to be good in this area as the scrum, as Brown really try and put on the pressure.
He does, 260 pounds, and they pulled it down, did Queens. Brown gets what they wanted, Will. You just mentioned it. Getting those scrums, draw those penalties. Here they go.
It's also just painting the picture to the referee. right at the beginning of the game, I said you've almost got to try and win the referee over, and it's now, it's a good kick from Adjura inside the 22. It's now an area that he's going to be taking a particular focus on. Brown player just under the pressure, he just rolls that shoulder. It's on the outside, it's number 3, would be Camp on that side nearest the referee, just rolls that shoulder down under too much pressure. That's what happens. That's where the collapse comes. And in the end, Queens that's just how they're building their territory at the moment through these penalties.
Yep, exactly. Here we go. Joel Hasso, their vice captain out of Reading, England. That one tipped back, and Queens, they come up with it. Couple meters from their own line, but they've got possession here now.
No, stay up.
Short little ball, just trying to get a little bit of breathing room, and that'll help. They picked up about 3, maybe 4 meters on that carry here.
Use it.
Olivier will use it.
A little bit of relief for Queens as they kick it into touch.
You can hear it on the stadium announcer. You can hear it. The stadium announcer just saying a little bit of relief. Not really the yards or the meters that Olivier would have wanted from that box kick. Brown, though, need to make sure they get this area sorted as they get challenged again.
Stadium announcer is friend of the program of Next Level Rugby, Matt McCarthy, on the microphone tonight. Played out of there. About 3 meters inside of the 22. Tuala moves quickly to it, plays it on. Onto his 10, big hit out there. And that was Adjura that took that shot. Didn't have the ball, though.
Now, right? Last time they came down here, they had 2 offsides. Now we've got a clear tackle without the ball, right? It's not super dangerous, but we got to change this trend, okay? Have a word. Just wait. Shot.
Clearly, Queens know
Shot called.
Adjura, as you can see, he's a danger man. So what do they want to do? They want to close his space down. But then what you can't do is take him when he doesn't even have the ball. That's what happens there. Just takes the man out. You see the power of that man. There he is. It's a big old unit, the number 13. No surprise, Queens want to get on him quickly, but got to do it legally. They did it illegally, and so that's why they've got this chance for 3 points. And it would be a deserved 3 points for Brown. They've had the momentum, they've had the territory. They want to turn this now into points.
On the tee for the hero last week, Raphael Lassagneur. And the Bears are within 4 here in the 31st minute. Dave LaFlame and his squad within a try now.
Good strike. Second good strike of the game from that man, Lassagneur. Loved your French accent on that, Ben. I'm trying to give her a little bit more something. But yeah, Queens just were under the pressure. Got to credit, though, their line-out ability. They're really challenging Brown at their own ball. As much as they're struggling in the scrum department, Queens are clearly showing a little bit of strength of their own in the other set piece, being the line-out. Keep an eye on that as the game goes on.
Thomas Moosey gets 3 stars.
Moosey with the kick. And Brown trying to grab it. Second effort. But they're going to bring this back, and it was knocked on by the Bears.
And to be honest, I understand Brown, if he catches that, he's away. But because he touched it, even though the ball didn't go 10 meters off the restart, because he touched it and then knocked it on, it ends up being the scrum for Brown. If he hadn't have touched it, Brown, then it would have been a scrum to Brown on the halfway line, if that makes sense. So you could see maybe the wind just picked up. It really held up that restart. Queens, a little bit of opportunistic play again. I've already used that word for them, but they get a chance. Scrum attack. Keep an eye on that midfield. JC Curry Big fan of his, real good leader. Spoke so well in the week when we had him on the Rugby Rundown, the weekly show on the Rugby Network. And I could just tell he's a guy who likes to roll up his sleeves, the number 12 for Brown. He's got a good, for Queens, I should say. The number 12 for Queens. Keep an eye on him. He's wearing that red scrum hat as Frank McKennie looks on to his Queens side. What have they got? This is an opportunity for them.
And one of the things that stuck with me from Curry when he talked to you and Alex Corbacero, he said we were haunted by 2 years ago. He said it was the worst bus ride he's had in his time playing for Queens. And here's a call that goes against Brown. And they go quick. Hilton Olivier, the dangerous 9, as Coach Frank McKennie feels he's the best 9 in the entire country. Here's a carry from their big number 8, Chester Stanyon. Stanyon finally wrestled the ground. Olivier turns, plays it short. Laid back again. Keep your eyes on Boyd. There's Boyd right into his hands. Everett Boyd puts it over. The chase for it into the try zone. It goes, and Queens gets there. Do they get it down? But time is off. Let's listen in here.
Back Brown. Back White.
This is going to go to the TMO, the television match official.
TMO here, it looks well.
Let's just have a look. Does it come forward? So it goes. That's for Brown hand. Oh, that's a try. No way. It's off the Brown hand, but it goes backwards. I don't see a Queen hand involved. Let's just hear the referee.
Well, Wessels is in there too. Watch 13 as well.
Yeah, time's off. Time's off.
That's a try, Ben.
He gets it right.
I don't want to call it. I don't want to call it too early. Here we go.
And then Queen's grounding it. So on field, I have a try. Is there any reason I cannot award a try? I know.
Here we go. This is it. Last time of seeing this, but I am convinced. That's off Brown. Still not grounded.
Yep.
And I think is that number 13. Wessels just comes in, and
it is.
All you need is a little bit of control pressure, and it's a try. That for me is a try, Ben.
I'm with you. I think so, and I think this is the best look.
Are you still talking to me? Okay. Scoreboard time is accurate, by the way. It's a try. Okay, can you give me the exact mark, please, Dave, as well? Right where I am.
This is going to
knocked
count.
Back by Brown, grounded by White, so we have a try right here.
There's the official verdict, Will, and the speed of Boyd, the speed of Wessels. That play is capped off by Wessels in his return, getting it down for the 5-pointer.
Boyd's got a score to his name and an assist.
I'm lying, yes.
You've got to go back now and look at the pass that was given, a skip pass to the edge. Watch this, but then watch the hands. Great miss ball, and it's that hands well, number 15, Thomas Musi. Sublime bit of play, such underrated play. The 15 fullback for Queens. It goes in and out, catches it early, gets the ball away, gives that man Boyd some space. Great choice, great chip over the top, and it's collected. 2 kicks, 2 scores for Queens.
Right through the wickets of the Brown defender there. Otherwise, that probably doesn't happen, but it does, and Olivier has it here on the tee for the conversion. And he pushed it just a little right. So it's 15-6 here. Everett Boyd and Queens with a lead here late in the first half.
2 opportunities.
Been smiling all night, Will.
I was going to say he's had 2 opportunities, and my word, he's taken them. In the attacking sense, number 11, Boyd, has been superb. can see how fired up he is, and you can see how fired up Queens will be after that as well.
Approaching 6 minutes remaining here in this first half.
Outside.
Queens, 21-5 losers 2 years ago here in the championship. On top here, 15-6.
Inside, use it.
Olivier takes a glance. Pops it down with the right.
Ball bounces into touch.
And it finds touch over there. There's the assistant referee. Tip of the hat to all the men and women working this weekend in Houston. They've earned it too, as have the teams. Chris Micheletti, our lead referee here tonight.
Good exit from Queens. Now they get the chance to have a go at this Brown lineout that hasn't been working brilliantly so far. And then it's clean.
Is it? Yeah, of course it is. Broadcast jinx. Is it something they're not doing? Heavy hit there at the halfway line, or is it something Queens is doing from what you've seen in that regard so far?
I've seen Queens challenge really well in the area, and sensible from Brown. They go to a fewer men at the line. I think it was only just a 4-man line out as Brown will come on this slight counter-attack. Boy, they're running away from it, but it is an area just to keep an eye on because Queens have challenged it well so far. So now we have a penalty to Brown.
Yep. Call there, and there's our head coach, Chris LaFlame, longtime coach of their program, done an amazing job. And your guy's going to tee one up here again to try and get it to a 15-9 match here, Lassonniere.
Lassonniere, it was his counter-attack as well that gave him this opportunity while I was still talking about lineouts. How dare I? I'm back. Why am I talking about set piece? I want to talk about the attacking style of play that young man brought. Lovely little chip over the top, put a lot of pressure on Boyd, who did well to gather, but then he was left on his own. Counter ruck came through, and Brown, with that pressure, got the penalty. So here we go. Get his third penalty of the game. Another 3 points. Points are so valuable in championship finals. Close the gap to a 6-point game.
Oh! Off of that right post, and no good. Remains 15-6 here. Queens. Final 3 minutes here in the half. They've got the lead by 9 here.
Use it, 9.
Olivier sends it to the back.
Brown takes the line up quickly.
Brown keeps it alive here. Here come the Bears. They mishandle.
And knocks it out with the turnover to stand down the Queens Head.
First time tonight we've seen it get a little hot. And they quickly get separated, and no further harm is done there.
Just continue to really silly it from the side there. There's absolutely no reason to stop the player.
Watch. He throws on purpose. Wow, he does it every game.
Look. He just needs to leave it alone next time. Number 8. Look, this is just a repeated sequence of events, okay? You've had multiple offsides, not rolling. You've come in very dangerously from the side over there. Now you've got another penalty. We don't need it. It's too many. Yes, here.
Yellow has been issued on Queens
back
here.
Off the ball.
That is what you call a dumb penalty. And could that be a big chance now? Go into the halftime break. Brown could take the lead here. Sorry, my maths is wrong. They can certainly get a try to bring themselves more back into this game. Let's have a look on this in terms of what actually happens.
A graze there of the chin by Estevez.
Not much in it.
Here's Brown now from the lineup. Here they come. Final minute here of the half. Queens, though, terrific job slowing them up there. Tough, heavy run there. Reed on top of the ball carrier. Tuala. Queens down a man here.
No, tackle's been made.
Big chunk of time when the second half begins. Will Brown with that yellow issued.
Advantage.
Played free by Tuala. Good push here from Brown, picking up some real estate.
Nah, guys, that's not going anywhere. Back here for not rolling.
There's the call from Chris Micheletti.
Queens are doing all they can to give Brown that bit of positivity going into half-time. Missed the 3 points, but a couple of silly penalties. And look where they find themselves now, Brown. 5 meters out from the Queens line. I always say it in commentary. If you can get that score before the half, regardless if you're down on the scoreboard, it just gives you that good feeling going to the locker room. Like Queens, they'll be elated if they can stop this, but for Brown, this could be a really, really big point in the match.
A chance to get it to a 2-point match with a converted try, but they do that. A miscue in the set piece in the lineout. And it's popped down by Hilton Olivier. Into the front row of seats, and we have reached the halftime break, Will Hooley. 15-6 Queens on top of Brown.
Great work from Queens to get those couple of tries. Brown have that push in the scrum, but their line out is creaking, Ben. And it's just allowing Queens to stay in the game. They've had 2 chances, 2 tries. They need this 15-6.
All right, let's get down to the pitch. Our man Tyler down with the head coach of Queens, Frank McKinney.
Ladies and gentlemen, rugby.co.
Here with Frank McKinney, a little deja vu, but a little bit of a different first half result. You guys are on top. You're looking in form, great in space. Your back line's looking good, especially with those kicks. 1 card, you have a yellow, but you had a red last time. How are you feeling about that first half?
I feel pretty confident. I think we executed a lot. I think our defense needs to get a little better. We had 1 penalty for offsides. We just got to keep playing. Just got to keep playing our game.
You guys have definitely held them in your own territory, stopping them from getting any more points. They've had to resort to the penalty kicks each time. What's your plan to keep that momentum going and obviously to keep scoring tries?
Yeah, our goal really isn't, we want to score tries, but it's defense. We want to come off the line. We want to have good line speed. We want to smack these guys and knock them back. So we got 40 more minutes. If we can play tough defense, I like our odds.
It's definitely a match worthy of a professional field. Thank you, Coach, for taking the time to get to your guys. Wow, a D1 final worth the wait, and we can't wait for the second half. Stay tuned.
All right, very good. The words from Frank McKinney there. We'll get into a little bit more of that. Quick halftime, and we'll take a quick time out here and come back with Queens on top, 15-6 here in the Division I men's final from Houston, Texas.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America.
It's rugby time, America.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
Rugby is a sport where teamwork truly makes the difference.
Welcome back. Continuing on here as we get set to begin the second half, the Division I men's final. Brown and Queens. Queens up 15-6. Let's get back down to Tyler, who's now with the head coach of the Brown Bears.
Here with head coach David Laflamme. Obviously, it has been a struggling first half. Obviously, not the score you wanted to see going into it, but you've shown a lot of good traits, a lot of good things. You're causing them to make mistakes in their own territory. Biggest takeaway of your first half?
Yeah, I think nerves got to us right off the bat, but I think, we're kind of a team of patience, so I think we'll start to settle in, fix some of the mistakes that we've made, and start to really capitalize on some of the things we do well. So I'm not overly concerned at this point.
And definitely composure is a side of your team's aspect that is really huge for their gameplay as well as their physicality and stuff. What's the biggest thing, biggest takeaway for these guys going into the second half when you were talking to them in the huddle?
Yeah, again, just patience. Like that we preached that for the last few years, and I think we've shown that. We're kind of a last 20-minute team, so we can hang in there, get another score in there, and just wind them down in the last 20 minutes. So,
well, we know that Brown is amazing under pressure, and we know this is going to be an amazing second half. Thank you, Coach, for your time. Whew. Almost that time, guys. 40 more minutes left in the D1 National Championship. Let's see what happens.
All right, Tyler, thanks so much. Great to see you, my friend. It's been too long. Eddie O'Sullivan, the legendary coach in there, works for this Brown staff, Will, and adjustments. We're going to get into that. I want to get your thoughts clearly on adjustments on both sides, but we're going to look back at some of the key moments, and there were plenty in half one, Will.
2 kicks from Queens. Watch this. This is why a bounce of a rugby ball can be so cruel. Boyd, it just lands in his hands. I don't think he can quite believe it. That was their first try of the game, Queens. Lovely bit of space in behind, and yeah, look, this is cruel. Opportunistic play that works out for Boyd and for Queens for their first try. As for this next one, it's the hands, the handling to get out wide. The number 15, wonderful in and out from Musi. And it's another kick. Boyd with the try. First up, it's that assist from him, and Wessels, the number 13 for Queens, gets it down. Second try of the game for the Royals as they lead this match 15-6.
21-5 when they met 2 years ago in the championship. Brown over Queens. 11 cards in that match. A much different match here tonight. There is a card for Queens that was issued in the very late stages, so they've got plenty of time to work with to begin this second half. Does Brown, and they're in a very good attacking platform here to begin the half, Will. And let's start with Brown. What's got to be cleaned up for them in your mind?
We've got to be better in this area now, the breakdown. Got to be more effective. Take Queens defenders out the way. At the moment, you can tell Queens defenders are making a tackle, maybe just one of them, and then they're fanning out. They've got to try and take a man, be more effective in that area. And then it's the line out. The line out has showed a few cracks. Make sure they shore that up.
No, he's dead.
And that will open up the opportunities for an attacking play like this.
Look out here. Good kick. It's handled. Brown, Boyd there on the tackle for Queens. Ajua.
He's not even on the
I want to get to Queens in a moment with you, but let's let this passage here play a little bit as Brown coming out with some tempo and some pace here. Tuala gets it free and plays it back.
Tackle now, 5 release.
Tight head prop there. That's Asa Rosenmeyer. Came up through the New England Free Jacks Academy sides. Now Tuala plays it on to Gabriel. Haven't called his name a lot here so far in the match, but a lot of match to be played here. Tuala gets it free. Here's a ball played outside a little bit, cutting back in there. That's Cordobarria, the left winger. Tuala back the other way with it he goes. About 8 meters away, Tuala takes a look, spins it on to the right. Brown coming out with pace here, but Brown...
No, let him go, let him go, let him go.
They turn it over here.
And what is it? It's that breakdown.
Yep.
They've got to be more effective. I hope I'm making sense in what I'm saying. It's the ball carrier who's carrying well, but it's his next player, his next teammate. If he is clearing someone out, you've got to do a better job. In the end, it's a good steal. It might have been from that man again, Thomas Pussy, who's been superb as the kick, though, doesn't go out. So Brown will get this counter-attack opportunity.
They will. Here they come now. Bring it back near side here. Trying to peel that ball out of there was Pierce Griffin. Brown with a good push. If you're Queens, Will, what do you do? What do you want to see out of them in the second half?
Well, they've got to shore up their scrum. I was talking how Brown have got to shore up their line out. The scrum is an area that they are struggling with. Brown's showing a lot of ascendancy there. But for me, for Queens, they've had a really good first half. They've got to be disciplined. They've got a man in the bin at the moment, but the discipline's the thing that's killing them. They need to make sure they've got 15 people on the field, otherwise space is opening up as now Brown have some moments in the attack.
They do. Here they come with some speed coming at them. Good carry there. The tackle made there by Gideon Wessels, who has a try in his return here this week for this Queens Royal side. Trying to get their first championship, national championship in Division I. They won in Division II back in 2019, defeating Wisconsin Whitewater. But a young program, only in its 8th year of existence.
Number 1.
Brings us back. Who's playing the advantage?
Come back and reset here.
Another penalty. Scripting this pretty well, Ben. It's the discipline that Queens need to just improve, as it's just allowing Brown to stay in the fight, bring themselves up the field territory as the tee comes on. So they're going to try and take the points. They obviously missed the penalty chance at the end of the first half, so a bit of an easier opportunity for Lassonniere to put this over, make it a 6-point game. As that yellow card still sits for Queens. I'll be interested to know. I can't remember how much longer they got with that man in the bin, but it's good to get Brown some more points and take advantage of that man advantage.
Well, the yellow was assessed in the 38th, and there's the kick and the strike from Lassonniere, and he's now good on that one after missing that previous attempt you mentioned, Will, and it's now 15-9 here in the championship.
Brown are doing well in attack in terms of punchy lines, some good tip plays. It's then that effectiveness, if they get a good breakdown, Ben, it enables them quick ball, and then they can pick them off. Then they can get the ball to Adjura on the outside. That's where they score tries. So it's dynamic, it's good attack, but to get the quick ball, that breakdown needs to be cleaner and better. Good 3 points. They're really back into this. Obviously a whole second half to go.
Converted try would put them on top in the match here. Still about 3 minutes and change left in that yellow card with Queens a man down here. Tuala. Short, takes a hop right at halfway. There's a big hit delivered by Brown. Oh, the Queens player got absolutely crunched and does not look like he's moving a whole lot at this point. He's still down, and Tuala gets it. He plays it on. Here come the Bears looking for help. Bounding ball outside, but a whistle will halt play here. Wow, that hit out near halfway was a wicked shot.
I could feel it all from up here, you could say. That was a monster hit on Colson, the number 10. He can't really do much more than that. Big number 12 in Leo Kleberg just flies in. And then it was the charge down. Enrique Gabriel gets the ball from an offload, and then he just throws a wild attempted offload. Didn't need to do it, just needed to keep hold of the ball. The man who's just taking the knock, he's there on screen. Just didn't need to throw this. Here's another look at that massive hit that comes in. Kicker's only as good as its chase, Ben. Great chase, great turnover. That comes, from this box kick now.
Oh.
Walla runs away, but in the end, it was just good offload, but it's this second offload from Gabriel, not needed. I know he's trying to find his man, but you're not in the position, buddy, to make it. Get the ball back, go another phase. Oh, that's a chance gone begging for Brown.
Queens with the scrum here.
Crouch!
Hilton Olivier.
Fine! Set!
Come down to the Royals.
Out it comes. Right at the line. Sent down by Queens. Out near halfway is where they'll restart here after that kick.
Now this is going to be where I show that I was a former fly half. I loved everything about that from Queens. That is such a good, clean, efficient exit. Look at that kick that takes them over the halfway line. And that's probably the other thing, Ben, for Queens, that they're going to win this game and take control in the second half, is really use the field position. It's a big, wide open field. They've got good kickers. Make sure they play the rugby in the right areas. That's a fantastic exit from the Royals.
There's a solid job in the line by Brown, an area that you talked about. And it's turned over here, and it goes over to Queens, and they're in a very favorable portion of the pitch here into the 48th minute. There's big Travion Reed. Haven't called his name a lot of match left. He can make a difference in a hurry. And they're going to call on the tee here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Ben.
Yeah.
Finishing my sentences. There you go. That's the team we are. And as for this team
right.
in the Royals, it's a bit of a gift. In the end, it gets knocked forwards from Enrique Gabriel and ends up going into his own player that's in front of the ball. He's in an offside position, and that's why the penalty is given to Queens. Definitely, he's got the range. He's got a good boot, Olivier, but does he have the accuracy? This is a big 3 points, potentially, for the Royals.
Up by 6, trying to put him up by 9. Had the accuracy, Will, but did not have the muscle in that leg.
Horrible strike, Ben. Just when I said he's got a lovely strike on him, that was probably one of his worst strikes I've seen from Hilton.
So you saw on the sideline there, real quick, just some housekeeping. That yellow is about to return here for Queens, and they've still got the lead in this match, leading here by 6 here in the 49th. Aiden Beattie is set to check into the match for Emil Van Dyke. 18 for 6 is what we're told, and that's going to be the change for Queens. You saw Beattie there on the left of your screen. There he is, the bottom of your picture, as he trots in for the first time tonight.
So only conceding 3 points in that.
Yeah, it's huge.
Defense that was from the end of the first half. Yeah, you could say that's a good mini victory for Queens. It's Brown. They have the shortened line out again. Can they get the ball back?
Executed well here. Brown out of it. Here comes the line of Queens.
No more. Leave him.
Chris Micheletti, our referee. You hear his voice with a wireless mic on. Bassanier bangs it down. Hops around halfway. Boyd who's been involved in both the tries. This kid is dangerous. Here he goes. Everett Boyd with speed plays the ball off. Queens to the line. They get it down. And it's Pierre Griffin. It's not. It's Hilton Olivier in that 14 playing tricks on everybody. But Olivier dots it down.
I'll tell you who's playing tricks, Ben. It's Boyd again who's involved, and again he gets an assist. The bounce of the ball, I thought to myself, that was going to play in the favor of Brown. But in the end, it's a missed tackle, number 14 for Brown. Pierre who just doesn't make it, and it gives that space that opens up a lovely little 2-on-1. And like all good scrum halves, you trap the ball. Cheat lines, we like to call it. Brown exactly in the right position, got on Boyd's shoulder, and away he went. He scores in the corner. Another play that's just a opportunistic play from the bounce of the ball. Boyd picks it up, runs nearly the length of the field, and just does a beautiful 2-on-1. Third try of the match for Queens, and wow, for Brown, that will be destroying just for their own mental feeling in the match when they had a little bit of control, you could say. But hey, Queens, credit to them.
None of these kicks are easy. This one from a very acute angle, and that one is going to sail left, so it stays at 20-9. Here's a look back, Will.
There was nothing wrong with the kick other than the fact that Queens didn't catch it, so then it bounced, but it then bounced into the hands of Boyd. He's had one already that's bounced into his hands, and he scored. This time, it enables him just to find some space on the edge. Lovely little inside ball to the scrum half. Yes, wearing number 14, Hilton Olivier, who just tracks it so well, scores in the corner. And here we go, Queens, now have an 11-point advantage.
So a double-figure lead. (20-9) here in the 52nd. Here comes Ajua. The big man Reed out there couldn't get him. Ajua picks up another 4 or 5 meters. Just shy of halfway. Brown, dangerous ball there, could have easily been taken away. But it is offsides by a mile there, and there's the word and the signal from Micheletti.
Frank McKennie, no doubt, tearing whatever hair he's got left out, because they had them in a really good position, trapped them inside their half, try to go for the counter attack. You mentioned that name, Ajur. We haven't actually mentioned him too many times in this game. He's been relatively quiet. But then you don't need that from Queens. That's just a basic offside penalty for Brown. They'll get some field position. There you go. They can just get themselves back in this in the second half.
Time is off right now. Queens player, their fullback, coming off.
All right, it's a penalty to Brown on the offside call.
Here's the kick from Brown. Jua did the honors there with the left.
It's a good thing we have another ball because that one out of the stadium.
So Brown in need of offense here, Will. They're down by 11 here.
Yeah, need to just really get themselves into a passage of play, win the line up first. That's the first bit. But now they need to keep hold of the ball, build some phases, build some power.
Tuala played it for Isaac Frost, his 10. The grad student out of Manchester, England. One of 3 Brown players working on a master's degree at that fine institution in Providence, Rhode Island. Reed, good tackle down low from Travion Reed. Tuala pulls it out. Ajua, the kick, the chase, just over his right hand. Queens has got it. Down on the ball was Olivier.
On the knock-on, it'll be a scrum down.
Mature. I want to see him more on the ball, man. He's lethal.
Yeah.
He could do it with his feet, both in terms of beating a man with his feet, and he's also got that lovely little kicking ability. It's his left foot, Ben, as well, just sort of drops it on there, dinks it past on the grubber. See what they're playing for, the trophies. But there was a lovely little play from the Brown number 13. This is just eyes up rugby, bit of spacing behind. He's in front, he's got a wall in front of them. Oh, and you know what? If that doesn't sit up as much as it did, that's straight in his hands. You could say Brown have not had the bounce of the ball today. And the Queens definitely have had the bounce of the ball, quite literally on occasions. But this is a scrum. You know what might be coming now.
There it is. They're trying it. Penalties called on Queens, pulling that thing down.
One and three collapsing.
There you go. It is such a weapon. We were hearing that. You mentioned just at half-time, we saw Eddie O'Sullivan helping out, coaching within the Brown. He's the one. That's what I was hearing in the background in the week. I was like, where's this scrum come from? Because they're not the biggest team. And they give a lot of credit to the coach, Eddie O'Sullivan, in this area. And it really is a weapon. Look, they do the same, and it's another penalty. The referee's going to have to think about putting someone in the sin bin again for Queens. Queens really need to shore this up, Ben. It's the one area that they are really getting dominated at. Has to be better, but for Brown, this is the time. Got to capitalize.
And it's another penalty awarded to Brown.
Another call going against Queens. Once again in that scrum. Bruce O'Sullivan, the U.S. coach in 2011. Coached Ireland for 7 years, and Micheletti's close to having to pull that card out. Let's see what happens this time around.
Look on the screen there, Ben. You've got a stack options. You've got the blind side. There's no one on this blind side, but you've got someone just sitting in behind the 10 of Brown. Isaac Frost. Watch this blind side wing as he might come into play if he's needed, because this push is so strong.
Tuala trying to get it, had it, lost it. Doesn't work again.
Yellow card, Ben. He has got to go to his pocket. Oh dear. There wow. I am calling referees out, but that really is multiple times, multiple infringements in the scrum. They are on thin ice now. Quite literally, they're all right, ice at Queens. They're going backwards, but they're on thin ice in terms of keeping another man, or keeping a man on the field, I should say.
You guys keep your shape, they're not going to get it.
You got to figure right there. You just heard Micheletti. You keep your shape, or I'm going to get it, meaning the card.
Crouch! Bind! Sit!
The beautiful game. Tuala at the back, comes down to the ground again.
Against Queens.
Pack leader. Who's the pack leader? Who's the pack leader? Yeah. Look, you're just getting beat under pressure, right? But we need to keep up, okay? I can't keep going penalties, and we can't keep going scrums again, okay? So we need our two props to stay up, keep their feet under them, and if they're getting under pressure, they can walk back, but they can't go down.
Okay.
Okay?
So, Will, this is it this time, right? This is it.
If it's legal. Yeah. Scrum, guys. Scrum.
Forgive me, but I am puzzled how Queens have not got a man in the bin. The amount of pressure that's coming through from Brown, and the referees even said it, like they're buckling under pressure. Well, Brown are going to continue to scrum.
If you want it, give me
it's amazing that there's not someone in the sin bin, Ben, I'll be honest. Maybe I'm calling it as it is, and I should understand a little bit more what the referee's saying, but you don't commit this many penalties and not get a man sent to the sin bin. The front row for Queens are on literally their last warning now. Have to be.
No question about it.
He's in, man.
Into the scrum it goes. It's at
Use
the
it
back
now.
for Tuala.
Use it now. Use it now.
Tuala. In and out. Into the middle it goes. And the ball knocked free. It's picked up by Tito Ajua right at the 5. Slowed by 2 and held.
He's got his knee down.
Nicoletti calling the tackle. The ground he goes. Tuala plays it out of there. So far, Queens holding them back. Couple of phases here after that scrum. Tuala trying to get in and get it. There's the call off the feet. Now the tap and go to the line, and Brown gets it down. A massive try from Brown there. They put it down, and it's 20-14 now.
Needed and deserved from Brown. The amount of penalties, the amount of pressure that was up that scrum, multiple scrums. They get lucky though, Ben. They get really lucky. They do an intricate play. I was talking about how the winger sat up behind the fly half. They didn't use him. They actually went forward, but they knocked it on. Anyway, they get the ball back, and in the end, it's the tap and go. Is it Tuala, sorry, the scrum half who just gets over? He does. Good work.
That's Clayburgh.
Sorry, I thought it was the scrum half. It's the 7 work. Great work. Great stuff. From Brown, they get that try. Deserved that try, Ben.
Chassanier, beautiful strike out of him. That one is good. And it is a 4-point match now, 20-16. Right back into the hands of Brown it goes.
Play.
Or not. On the hop, they've got it.
Off the foot, play.
2 years ago, championship match between these two. Won by Brown. A lot of penalties. This match has been much cleaner, much more efficient that way. Here comes Ajua. Ajua, look at him carry. Ajua breaking free. Ajua up into the air. And Queens comes in, and Nicoletti blows it dead here. What a burst, Will.
What a burst. What a burst, and they're
I did back off White.
packing threat.
Back off White, right? Back off the White, so it's Brown ball. Yes, Brown ball.
That for a stiff arm. Stays on his feet so well, keeps the legs driving. Gets rid of
Three
another.
White sub.
Then he goes for the wild offload. It just jumps into the hands of Olivier. Right
he's going off the far
Brown
side. Just hold him, Dustin. Hold, and behind him.
I think they're getting this ball back as well, Brown. Here we go, line out. You can just sense the momentum in this game has just changed. Queens have just got to take it easy, be cool,
Keep the space.
be disciplined. Understand that Brown have made mistakes in their handling, so they just need to be disciplined. As for Brown, though, you got to rise now. This is your moment. Get the ball more into that man's hands. Number 13, brilliant run.
Tito Ajua, the sophomore. Here's the push now. This is vintage Brown right here. Driving that maul, still going forward. About 7 meters, now about 5, and it finally goes to ground just inside of the 5. Brown trying to get the lead, down by 4, rolling, and no. Nicoletti says no, he's coming back with it.
Can't roll like that, Ben. It does come back for the penalty, but once you're tackled, you can't do it like an Army-style roll. Yeah, really good decision. Lassonniere comes right up from the back and says, we are scrumming here and we are pushing it over the line. Got to make this count, Brown. It's a big moment in the match. And for the referee, I also think this is also a big moment. What's he going to do? Is he going to let this scrum play out? Is he going to penalise it?
Yeah.
Or for Queens, do you hold firm? We're at 61 minutes. I'm telling you now, this could be a point in the game we come back to, Ben, at the end. Just how key this is, this moment right now.
Bind.
Get your head in the right space.
Sit.
And again, another penalty earned by Brown.
Another penalty in there, Will. They just can't seem to
Guys, we gotta hold our weight. We gotta hold our weight. New tight head, we gotta hold our weight.
Pushing early because they're trying to get some form of go forward before then the ball comes in. Because once the ball comes in, it's all going one way, and that's going in the favor of Brown.
Let's keep our head out, okay?
Queen's trying to win the hit, or whatever hit they can win, but you can't push too early. You have to wait until that ball comes through the middle. Brown just need to keep their patience. They know they've got the power.
Bind!
Keep their patience, stay disciplined.
Set! Guidance! Get it in. You just No,
at the
still
back.
Advantage.
Still in there. Tuala reaches in, gets rid of it, plays it inside, right at the line.
Great defense from Queens.
Still short. Short ball, that one. Nicoletti, it looked initially put the arm up and then stopped it and said no, and now time's off.
Time's off, guys. Back. Yeah, time's off. Time's off. Guys, back. Back, JC. Time's off. I need to check. Back.
They're going to look at it with the TMO. What'd you think, Will, when you saw it live?
Well, I get another shot now. My thought is that if he grounds it first time when he lands on the floor,
I've got them collapsing.
then it's a try. But let's just see if that all happens.
And if they haven't, I'm going penalty try, and then I'm going to go yellow card to number 7.
On before
Okay,
the line.
Dave, we're coming to you. So, we don't have a clear grounding. We have a potential knock-on over the goal line. Can you please verify if we have a try? If not, I'm coming back to the scrum penalty, which would result in a penalty try. I need you to check for the... Yeah, I need to check if we have a clear try. If not, we're coming back with the scrum moving forward and 7 collapsing it. So, JC, we're either going to have a try or a penalty try. No, he's going back, and... No, look, your 7's just gone down and back. All right, he just hasn't held it. We're either going to have a try or a penalty try.
Well, you can hear
We
it
scored either way, yeah.
coming from the referee's mic.
No, I played the advantage.
It's going to
Either
be a
A scores
try
we're gonna
regardless,
get a
Ben.
penalty try. You can set up, yeah.
Whether it's grounded there or it's a
Either a
penalty
try
try.
or a penalty try. No.
Tell you what, if you're Brown, you want a penalty try. You want an
Scrum was moving
automatic
forward
7
fast
points.
when it went down.
Yeah.
I was going to say you have to go under the post either way, but you might not have to go under the post. I have to go there either way. But I don't want to be alone on the camera.
I saw the scrum. I wasn't sure if it
Yeah.
was a 3 or what.
No, he just... Yeah. Yeah. Brown knocked on, so we're going to the penalty try then. Correct, Dave? Brown's knocked it on, so we're going to go penalty try. Yeah. Number 7, JC, number 7. It's a penalty try. Penalty tries the yellow card.
So there's the verdict. A penalty try is awarded, and they get the 7, Will, as you mentioned. So now a 3-point lead in this match here for Brown.
Well, that's probably what you wanted for Brown. You wanted the automatic 7. Estevez, who I've got to say, the number 8 for Brown's been everywhere. He nearly scored a try in the first half, Ben, if you remember, and he got held up. He's just knocked it on there, but he's been tireless everywhere. Doesn't matter. Brown take the lead for the first time in this match.
Brown finds himself.
Use it, Brown.
64th minute. Brown with possession. They've scored in the 59th, and then they're in the 64th minute. Here comes Queens, though. Here's the guy that scored in the first half, Gideon Wessels. Good carry out of him. Queens, they have not really had much possession here in the last, what would you say, Will, 5 to 7, maybe 8 minutes of this match. Now they've got it at the attacking end of the pitch here. Play back, trying to kick through there outside of the line. Takes a hop, but it finds touch as the dangerous Boyd was out there and couldn't get to it.
Don't mind that as a tactic, just poking it through from Coulson, but you are right, they haven't had that much ball in the second half. So as much as I don't mind the tactic in terms of gaining some territory, putting the pressure back on Brown, their line out has been a little bit 50-50. Got to go after this now, the Queens line out. But at the same time, saying all of that, they had the ball. I wouldn't mind them building some phases as well.
Brown up to get it. Pushing that thing forward.
Inside.
To Alla.
Kick goes in a touch.
Back into touch. Drama time here. We're coming up on 15 minutes to play in the national championship. Queens looking for their first ever championship in Division I. They won in Division II in 2019. Brown, theirs came 2 years ago, as we've told you, against the same opposition they're playing tonight. Olivier. Back for Coulson. Coulson to the back line. Good job to escape the would-be tackle. Now Wessels, look at this guy go. He is still going forward. Heavy run from Gideon Wessels. Coulson now. Travion Reed's a mountain of a man to tackle, but Estevez got him to ground.
No, you have too many players.
Olivier for Coulson. Outside. Finds his target there. It's Starnes. Coulson in there. Olivier in there as well. Travion Reed's got it.
Queens earns the
Penalty here on Brown.
Good work from Queens.
It's intentional, but
Good movement of the ball. I'm enjoying when I see Zach Coulson come to the line when he plays flat and he pings that ball across. Did it in the first half. That missed pass, flat missed pass that then ended up being one of the reasons where they scored. He did it again, and Brown, they may be trying to find, can they intercept it? But they don't get there in time, so that's why the hand came in from the Brown player. It was knocked on, a deliberate knock on, and that's why it's the penalty Ben. So, Queens, good play up until this point. This is a real chance for them. 7 meters out, line out.
Josh Schwartz goes short with it. Brown was ready. Backs him up 5. Olivier plays it free. Coulson moves it on. Coulson put it into the hands there of Curry, their captain. Now Olivier into the hands of Schwartz. Olivier to it again. Reed lean forward for a meter. Olivier.
no, Seth, yeah, good.
Work free, played on. Boyette with a touch there, number 20.
Leave it, Brown, leave it!
Still digging forward is Queens. Olivier for Coulson. Coulson, dummy there, but he goes to ground. Ball spills up, picked up, back into the hands of Queens. They've still got possession here.
Queens with multiple phases.
That's Van Nykirk. Stringing the phases together here are the Royals of Queens. Hard charging run there to ground. Olivier looking for Reed, and they can't get it. Looked like miscommunication there, and it's turned over, and Brown's got it.
Advantage is over.
Sent out. Back comes Queens now. Heavy run from Moosey. He's had some good carries in the match. Olivier spins free.
And there's a lost ball.
Mishandled, knocked on. Queen.
Everyone is just needing to take a breath. Some big efforts going across the field for some big men, and in the end, just the handling, letting Queens down. The ball. The ball and man hit. Good work from Brown to stay on their feet. They're still trying to bring that aggressive line speed and put that Queens player under pressure. And I said earlier how I enjoyed the way that Queens were playing flat. But then at the same time, you're playing flat when you're actually not on the front foot, Ben, and it's very hard to gain momentum. And you end up getting those situations where you get a man and ball. that just happened there. I think it was Wessels who took it into contact. He had no time. As soon as he caught it, he was banged. And in the end, knocks it on. I think Enrique Gabriel's coming off for Brown, and then there's another substitution for Queens here. So, oh, there you go. Gabriel's actually going to stay on. I thought he was walking off, but they're so key. Whoever's coming on now, you've got to add an impact. You've got to be those fresh legs. That brings it either home for Brown, or you turn the tide for Queens.
Jacob Ero, 17, checked in. You saw Caden Boyette there who had a carry on that passage of play. He's checked out, so there's easy to see the new guys in, Will. Those kits are nice and white, clean, and fresh, and it's been a championship match in every sense here. 23-20 as we have hit the 70th minute here in the national championship here in Division I. Brown with the lead and with the ball.
Bind. Set.
Brown looking to string together a passage here. They'd love to get another try. They get a try, it would make it a two-possession game in their favor. Call from Micheletti that goes against Queens here.
They'll do that all day. And what it just gives them is a chance to kick the ball up the field. Take a breather as well. The amount of energy that's been taken out of both teams, but the ball hasn't gone out, Ben. That's a poor kick from Majua.
Sure is. Here's the dangerous Boyd. Involved in some way, shape, or form in all three of the Queens tries, but directly involved in two of them. This kick outside into space. Queens looking to break. They get some room here. This is Landon Starnes. Good pickup from him.
Nice run from Landon Starnes.
Coming in out of the reserves for Frank McKinney and Queens. To halfway, Colson. Laid out by Olivier. Back for Ero. Olivier once again. Now Travion Reed. Short little ball there. Outside the dangerous Everett Boyd. Trying to step on the gas. Now he kicks one down and he'll give chase, but he's not going to get there. They're going to get it right back.
They're going to have a look at this, Ben, because if he's taken the ball over the try line when he put that ball, let's just have a look at this now. Does Lansonnier take this over the try line? I think he does. Ooh. If the referee thinks that, then that's going to be a scrum to Queens. And it came off the boot of Boyd. Yep. Another great play by the winger. He's having a storm every time he touches the ball. Let's just listen here from the referee.
I need to check to see what cover's like and see what the decision will be after that. Okay, Dave, we're coming to you. TMO.
Universal sign, the TMO. They're going to look here.
Tackle after the kick. I want to see what the cover is behind that to determine what our decision is.
So they'll give it over to the TMO here.
Exactly. I need you to check what cover is and what our restart is and where our restart will be as well.
So they're checking when Boyd kicks it. He got taken out. So when he kicks his ball, he gets taken out. So they're asking the question.
Dave will get us the mark.
That could he be, potentially, if he wasn't taken out, could he have been in their opportunity to maybe even score the try? I think it's a bit of an ask. I don't think he was. It's now that kick, and then takes that.
Just a late tackle.
So probably not much in it for me, Ben, but then we have to look at this, whether then it gets taken over the try line. That still is a big play for Queens if they get this as a scrum on the 5 meter. Lots happening there, Ben. Stay with me, trying to explain it.
Okay.
A+ work out of you as always.
Brown took it back. Wasn't already in goal. From the sideline. So we're gonna have a white scrum then on the 5 meter line. Okay, no problem. Is that
good call by the referee?
How much time's on the yellow, Patrick? Time's off right now. We have a call. Three. So, JC, the timing was okay. I've let it play through. You've carried it back and then grounded it, so it's gonna be a 5 meter scrum.
There's
We
the
gotta wait for
final
the prop to
verdict.
get taped up
That's what
anyways.
we'll have here.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Queens down 3. Knocking
Wait,
on the
what?
door, Will, in
One
every
round?
sense. They got a chance to get the lead here in the 70.
One.
By the time they get it going here, they'll be the 73rd.
It's the one facet of the game, though, that they probably don't want as Enrique Gabriel comes off. He's being immense
Marked him down to
again.
5. Patrick, my time is
Loose head for
31:47.
Brown.
31:47.
But this is like the one bit. Queens are in the
Marked on the
perfect
5 and the
area,
5.
5 meters out, but it's a scrum. You've got to say, for Brown, even though they're only 5 meters out from the try line,
Guys,
they've
Mark
got to
is on the
back
5.
themselves.
On the 5.
Every scrum so far has been a Brown ball, whether it's been their own ball or whether they haven't had the put in. If I was Queens, get the ball in, get the ball out, get your number 8, get Pierce.
Time's back on.
Sorry, Chester Stanyon. Get Stanyon to try and pick and go as soon as possible. They don't want to get in a pushing match now, Queens.
Set.
Fresh body in at that loose head prop for Brown. Eric Estienne is checked in for Gabriel. Here we go. Queens out the back. Colson's got it. Runner coming with speed. Julian there helping on the tackle for Brown. Short little ball there to the 5. 3 meters away now. Olivier for the big man, Travion Reed. Talked about him all day. Can he make a difference down here? He can punish the opposition. That ball was played into the hands of Jacob Ero. Good tackle there from Brown, backing him up a couple of meters. Olivier now for Colson. Colson looks outside, keeps it.
No! Leave it! Leave it!
Queens burrowing their way inside of the 5.
He's gone straight through the middle.
Brown holding him up so far. Now Reed, Travion Reed, 260 pounds, giving a push, gets a couple. Olivier, Curry now, up 3 meters out. Olivier back to Travion Reed.
Just need patience here, Ben, for Queens. They're making the yards. Just need patience. Come in numbers.
Olivier played the ball there into the hands of Aiden Beattie.
No, Brown, leave it! Leave it, Brown! Leave it!
Brown putting up a fight. Here they are, Moosey with a shoulder into the defender to go to ground. There's the call, advantage being played for not rolling away in time by Brown, says Micheletti. Olivier,
No, you're fine. It's before.
he's slowed in his tracks.
No, guys, that's unplayable. We're coming back to the penalty. Not rolling.
There's a penalty to Queens.
You heard Micheletti there. Penalty for not rolling away on
You got calm,
Queens.
so tell me when he comes on. You can come on.
Brown, I beg your
do
pardon.
now? And what do
Yeah,
you do
what
now
do you
for
do?
Queens? Do you tap and go? Do you put it to the corner? You definitely don't do a scrum, and here you go. They're going to tap and
Let
go
him
with the
have
big
it.
man Reed.
Yeah. Here goes Travion Reed, 3 to him. You're a couple meters away now.
No, he has it. It's off the foot.
Olivier. Nothing doing there for Schwartz. Olivier looks right, now goes left with it.
No!
Short little ball there into the hands of Jacob Ero. Coming up on 5 minutes to play here in the championship. Heavy tackle there. 2 taking the ball carrier down. That was Stanyon. Now Olivier for Curry. Curry outside, and that is not anything close to what they wanted there on that attempt.
But it was a penalty.
Oh, yellow's coming. Yellow's
So it's
coming.
going to be
Yellow's coming.
It's a
Time's
call
off.
against Brown, so
Time's
Queens
off.
will maintain
17
possession.
needs to go back off. 17. 17 needs to come
substitutions
off.
coming in, number 7 and number 20 for Queens.
Shaver coming back in, 7.
Returning.
And Boyette coming back in for Queens wearing 20.
No, last 5 minutes, and they've got
High tackle.
15 players on the field. Gonna keep this tight.
Travion Reed. Nowhere to go. Estevez got to him. Got some help. Olivier plays it on to his left. Couple meters away, Olivier back for Colson. Colson looking for space, looking for any opening. Colson, though, he's forced backwards. Great job by Brown. Olivier trying it again. Schwartz with the drive there. Picked up. Anything you can do, you're just trying to get this thing to the line and get it down if you're Queens. Down by 3. Nope. And that is a massive, massive turn of events for Brown here.
Wow. Wow. David LaFlame clapping because he knows they have just repelled an absolute storm that came from Queens close to the line. Penalty because he just crawled on the floor. I've mentioned it already in this match. As soon as you're tackled, you've got to get the ball back to your side. You can't then army crawl forward. Last on the air has got maybe a bit of cramp. No, you don't want your kicker going off the field. You might need him come the end of the game, so that's not great for Brown. But I'll tell you what is great for Brown was that repelling in their defense. Queens giving everything they had. Just that last little army crawl. Can't do that. That's why the penalty was given.
Throw in there from the vice captain, Joel Hasso. He's been around, a senior now on this club. Product of England, Charm Tuala. Now Brown. 3 minutes remaining in the match. They're on top by 3 here. Just want to keep possession here, Will, and just chew up some time. That's the goal here, right?
I mean, the clock has still got 3 minutes, but yeah, the score line is in their favor. You don't want to be messing around too much. 2.5 minutes is a long time just to play these phases. But they have the ball. Fine line between keeping hold of it, but then also doing that, Ben, and having a mistake. If that was me, I'd be kicking that upfield. Ask questions further down the field for Brown. Didn't need to do that. You still had 2.5 minutes on the clock. Poor game management. You do that with maybe a minute left on the clock. Not there, not that long still. Kick that upfield. Poor play from the halfbacks in the end, and it just allows Queens another chance. A scrum that they want to play away from quickly. Get it into the likes of 13, Wessels. Get it into the likes of Boyd. A try scorer and double assister for Queens. This is a big last 2 minutes.
So you're saying there's a chance, and there is here for Queens. Down by 3. Inside of 2 minutes to go in the national championship. Colson worked it free. Wessels the carry. His first match back here in the postseason. Good carry there from Queens. Trying to get down there again. Played back into the hands of Ronan Shaver. Now Colson to the back line. Here they come. Cut off, though. Nothing doing there as Wessels had nowhere to go. He's able to pick up a couple of more there. Olivier for the hooker, Schwartz. Brown gets him down. Olivier plays it out. Colson swings this way. Now they got a little bit of space. Yep. Played back into the hands there of Van Nykirk. Van Nykirk, the lock, showing he can do some things. Olivier for Curry. Put back by Curry. Olivier. Colson now.
They've got to move it left,
right
Ben.
there.
They have got numbers. They have to move it left and move it quickly as well.
Olivier starts that way. Colson continues it on. Outside over the top to Boyd. Boyd! Contact there, and that was Marco LaPierre over there.
What's this high? Let's have a look.
Conversation with the referees.
It is high.
LaPierre's like, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a rugby collision, but we're gonna check. Fine. Dave. We're just gonna check. We're just gonna check.
Cool,
we don't.
I'm here for TMO.
Yeah, we have it. So our call on the field is a knock on. We're gonna check. All right, Dave. Our call on the field is a knock on into touch. We'd like you to check the collision after and see if it's just a rugby collision or if there's any foul play, please.
What's your initial thought, Will, after seeing it a couple more times?
It's hard when it's in slow
Yeah,
motion.
call on the field is no foul play, but we want to check to see if it's a rugby collision or if there's foul play.
And that's why the referee's asking, is it a rugby collision? But the shoulder here, that goes into around the neck area. You cannot hit
I am at 80 and 9
neck
seconds.
head area of
yes.
the player.
I'm time up. I am time up.
Let's just
I am
hear
time
it.
up. Guys, I am time
This is
up.
a tough one.
So
I
we're
wouldn't want to be
gonna
a TMO right now.
I am time up. I am 40 and 9 seconds. So I'm time up. We're checking if there's foul play. If there's no foul play, it's just a knock on into touch. Okay?
It's very close.
That's it. I haven't seen clearly either way, so we have it. Let's use it. We're checking. We're checking. We're checking. We're checking. Yeah.
You can hear the crowd.
Guys, it's either going to be a
really
penalty or it's
everything
game
on
over.
the line.
Okay, so back 10 either way. It's
huge
either going to be a
difference. It's
penalty
cool.
or it's game over. Okay? If it's a penalty. It's either going to be a penalty or it'll be game over. We're waiting on the decision.
Oh, we're still waiting.
We're still waiting on the decision. We haven't had a decision. Yeah. No.
Talk about drama.
Can we also just adjust the clock to be at 80, please? Patrick?
You heard Micheletti. It's either going to be a penalty or game over.
Guys, it's either going to be a
comes
penalty
down to this.
or it was a knock-on, and my time is up. Its time is up. Yeah, the scoreboard clock is wrong. I have. Okay.
I mean, Will, do you see anything that
We're checking.
would change
We're
your
checking, right?
opinion
Yeah, we're looking
after
for that,
seeing
right?
it this many
Yeah.
times
Yes,
of the
Dave.
initial call on the field?
Okay. So, Dave, you have clear head-to-head contact. So are we looking at, is there any mitigation in that? Is there any force in that?
So it's going to be a penalty, but it's whether it's a yellow card, could even be a red card. I think it's the right call. It's a high shot.
Is there direct head
And
contact?
it looks head-to-head from that angle.
You want an exciting finish, you got it.
First shoulder, then head-to-head. So indirect contact to the head. So I'm looking at a yellow card then, Dave. Yellow card. And can you confirm the number, please?
We want to get this right.
It's going to be a penalty. It's going to be a yellow card.
There's no dip mitigation.
No, they're both high. Okay. They're both high. Initial contact is shoulder, then it's head-to-head.
14, LaPierre.
I'm gonna, and Dave, can you please get me the exact mark? We're inside.
He's
the
come
five
from the
timeouts,
backfield as
right?
well. He does well.
14
for Brown to get
Where's
and close
14?
the space, but he doesn't. Maybe it was the
Mark's
fact
here.
that Boyd knocked
Inside
it
the
on.
five, right?
He then
About the
doesn't
five.
lower his body height.
14. It's gonna be,
And there we go.
Other side.
He's off the field. It's
No,
a
you gotta go to the
penalty.
table.
Queens are still in this with a man advantage.
We have time
What a
for the
finish
line
in this NCR Championship D1 final.
Yeah,
Bet.
we have time.
Here we go. Brown up by 3.
High tackle.
High tackle, head to shoulder.
This is going to be it. This passage coming up. The line out will come up. And Queens, Will Hooley will have a chance here to win this in walk-off fashion.
And the next stoppage, if it's not a penalty, will be the end of this match.
To win the line out first. Brown, if I was them, compete, go up. Why not? They don't.
With 14 players.
Good throw, good execution. Colson now. Here comes Travion Reed, the big man. Taken down there. That Blotto was the first to get to him. Hilton Olivier looking.
Use it, 9.
Josh Schwartz is there. He gets the ball.
No. Off the foot. Off the foot.
Picked up. Olivier played out of there. The only thing that can keep this thing going is a penalty. Queens trying to end it here with a score. Shawver, the carry there. Olivier.
Maul!
Held up. This could be it.
Could be. And Brown.
Maul, it's not going forward. Brought in by Queens. That's the game.
That's the match. And Brown does it again. They hang on. They win by 3. the second time for them as national champions. The Brown Bears win it over Queens, the second meeting since 2022, and this time around, Brown wins it by 3, 23-20.
What a brilliant game of rugby. Both teams have thrown everything into it. Queens coming back near the end. Just a huge credit though. The power of Brown wins it. It's the power that came through. Massive credit to the number 8. I thought Antonio Estevez, superb. He was everywhere for Brown, even right at the end, the number 8. It just didn't die. They didn't give up. They didn't have much of the ball in that second half. But well done, Brown. Well done, Coach David Laflamme. And well done to their whole organisation. Everyone watching back home in the Brown University. You're national champions, guys. Again. Well done. Commiserations to Queens.
Yep, two-time national champs, 22 and now 24. And you mentioned Antonio Estevez, their captain, his second. There's a handful of guys on their club that have been here before, and the NCR Division I championship trophies heading back to Providence, Rhode Island, to Brown University, your champs here in Houston, Texas.
Big credit to Queens as well, though, Ben. Frank
Yes.
McKenny, what he's built, this organisation. They're Division II champions back in 2019. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. And
that's correct.
They got to that final in 2022. They've had a brilliant season this season. Even wins against the likes of Life University, a very good rugby program in America. Just shows the quality that they have, and they perform to JC Curry, a brilliant leader, the number 12, the captain. It's a great talent, but they just got picked in the end, and it was the power. Some individual brilliance as well from the likes of Ajua. We didn't see much of him, the number 13 for Brown, but really it's that scrum. Eddie O'Sullivan needs a beer tonight. Someone needs to buy him a beer because he's made that scrum for Brown unbelievable. And a credit to that front 5, that whole 8-man pack. They have ultimately really won them the match today and crowned them D1 national champions.
Brown talks about following the plan, about patience, about fitness. You got to throw toughness in there, obviously, in this sport, and they had all of those elements here tonight in this match, and they're trying to find the head coach. They're trying to sneak up on him. That Gatorade bucket is full of some type of liquid. We know that, and there it is, and they get it right on the back. That's well done, boys. Well done. There's the championship hardware into the hands of their captain, who you loved his performance, Will. And getting in there, the entire team, the national champs of 2024.
That's why you play this game. Whatever level it is, it's moments like this you dream about. Credit to the Brown boys.
Tip of the cap to Brown, the national champs in NCR Men's Rugby Division I. 2 champs crowned today. Brown, the most recent. Let's get down to the pitch to our man Tyler with the lucid up. The turnover king, Enrique Gabriel.
With Enrique Gabriel, unbelievable stuff. You guys showed insane patience, insane composure. It's exactly what Coach preached in the halftime. What came over you guys? What pushed you to do it and complete the finish?
To be honest, it's just his team. We're a brotherhood. We love everyone. This game was for all the alumni who are in the stands, for all the boys watching back home. We love you. We will fight for you. And this is our legacy. We play for our seniors, Stevs, Joe, Raf, our grads, Isaac, Frost, Leo, David. This was their last game of rugby. They have changed this program. This program was built on them, and we played. We gave it all for them, and especially for all the boys back home. I know you're watching. I love you all.
Absolutely amazing stuff. I mean, you guys were down at the half, and then you came back and you completed the finish. 2 years ago, when you guys took home the title, your coach said it's all about the players. It's all about the players. What does it mean to be able to take home another title for Brown University?
We've spent all week scared, thinking about every single play. We knew we could go down. We went down against Walsh. We went down against Bonnies. And we just knew we had that fight. We knew that no matter what happened, losing wasn't an option today. We said that to ourselves. We hugged, we cried all of yesterday, last night, thinking about this game, knowing that no matter what happened, we were going to take this home trophy. This is Brown Legacy. This is our program. We're here to stay. Don't forget that.
Well, congratulations, because you are now a national champion once again, and you've also shown America some of the best rugby we get to see. Go celebrate with your team. Unreal stuff, guys. Right up to you.
That's 2 for Brown, and this one they get it done in close fashion. 23-20, Will Hooley. They get the victory here as the championship trophy. A closing thought from you.
Oh, it's just a brilliant display, a powerful display from Brown. That scrum was a weapon, and a weapon that ultimately got them a national championship. Again, from 2022, they beat Queens. Well, put another notch on the belt. 2024 D1 champions, Brown University.
I've got a feeling we'll see these two sides deep into the Division I playoffs once again next year. No question about it. 2 of the very best, and they were the final 2 here this season here, as Brown wins it 23-20, defeating Queens out of Charlotte, North Carolina. For all of our crew, Ryan Ginty, our producer, director, and everyone involved, Next Level Rugby, and Will Hooley, my broadcast partner on this match. My name is Ben Holden, saying thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. It was our pleasure to bring it to you. The national championship claimed here in 2020 by the Brown Bears over Queens.